In this section, we'll be talking about exploration of data in Python. Understanding how Python handles different types of data is fundamental to becoming proficient in this language. In this tutorial, we'll delve deep into various data types, focusing on strings and numbers. We'll explore how to manipulate text, perform arithmetic operations, and understand the different data types Python offers. Plus, we'll walk through several live demos to solidify these concepts. Strings are one of the most commonly used data types in Python. They allow you to store and manipulate text, making them essential for any text-based operation. Let's start by printing some basic strings. A string in Python is enclosed within quotes, either single, double, or triple, for multi-line strings. For this, let's run this example. In this demo, "Hello World" is a simple greeting. "My favorite drink is Earl Grey Tea" shows how strings can store sentences. This demonstrates the strings can contain special characters, and 2.99 is a string that looks like a number but is treated as text. Sometimes you need to work with text that spans multiple lines. Python makes this easy with triple quotes. For this, let's run this example. So it says print triple quotes "Hello World, it's a great to be here," and then triple quotes bracket close. Here we see how Python preserves the indentation and line breaks, treating them as part of the string. You see this output. Trying to run a command with single starting quotations but not the ending ones will cause an error. Let's try running this. So it says unterminated string literal. So there is an error. If you just put the quotations right here and run the command again, you'll see the output. "Hello world, it's great to be here." Let's talk about the type function. Python provides a handy function called type, followed by brackets, that lets you check the data type of any value or variable. This is particularly useful when you're unsure how Python is interpreting your data. Let's start by checking the type of a basic string. So let's run this. So it says string, str, which stands for string. But what about a multi-line string? So let's run this example. Even though this is a multi-line string, Python will still return str. But what if we use a number inside the quotes? So let's try running this one. So it still says str. Despite looking like a number, the quotation mark make Python treat it as a text. Now let's try a number without quotes. For this, we are going to run this example, and it says int. So the type of 100 is int, but 2.99 enclosed in brackets and quotations is string. This time Python returns int, which stands for integer. Since there is no decimal, Python interprets this as a whole number. And if you want to see an example of a float number, you can simply remove these quotations and you'll see the result quickly changed. So now it says float, since it has a decimal value. It represents a floating number, a number that includes a decimal point. Now let's talk about Python as a calculator. One of the Python's strengths is its ability to perform quick and easy arithmetic operations. Let's see how Python can help you with some basic math. Imagine you have a lemonade stand and you want to add up all your sales over the last 12 months. For this, you are going to type all these values followed by plus operator and then simply click on run. So it will give you the total sales. This simple line of code gives you the total of your monthly sales. Python handles this addition for you. What about something more complex, like calculating compound interest? For this, you can type in the chatbot, "How do I compute 1.05 to the power of 10 in Python?" The chatbot might respond something like this. Now let's run this together. So it says 1.6288 followed by all these numbers. So this will give you the result of raising 1.05 to the power of 10, which can be used to calculate compound interest. Python follows the same order of operations. which is PEMDAS, that you learned in your math class: parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division from left to right, and then addition and subtraction from left to right. Let's say you're converting a temperature from Fahrenheit to Celsius. For this, you might type print 75 minus 32 into 5 divided by 9. This is the formula. If you run this, you'll see this will give you an incorrect result because Python first multiplies and divides before subtracting. To get the correct results, you should use parentheses. If you include parentheses, you'll see a statement like this: print brackets 75 minus 32 brackets closed into 5 and then divide by 9. If you run this, you'll see the correct answer, which is 23.88. Here the parentheses ensure that the subtraction is performed before the multiplication and division, giving you the correct Celsius temperature. Now that you have covered the basics, it's your turn to experiment. Try printing strings that mix numbers and letters or create multi-line strings using triple quotes. If you run into any issues, you can always ask the chatbot for help. Moving on to common errors and how to fix them. Let's go through a couple of common mistakes and how to correct them. For this, I have typed there are 366 days in a leap year, and then I have one quotation mark but not in the start. So you see unterminated string literal. Now let's fix the error. Here is the corrected code. Let's run this together. So it prints there are 366 days in a leap year. Another common mistake involves improper use of multi-line strings, like this one. If you run this, you'll see an error, unterminated string literal again. So here is the corrected code. Now it prints there are 366 days in a leap year. The problem here was that you are trying to create a multi-line string with single quotes, which isn't allowed. You can fix this by either using triple quotes or keeping the text on a single line. You can even have converting units example, but I will suggest you to try that by yourself. So yes, congratulations, you have just taken a deep dive into data types and arithmetic operations in Python. Whether you're working with strings, integers, or floats, Python offers powerful tools to manipulate and analyze data. Keep experimenting with these concepts and you'll be well on your way to becoming proficient in Python programming.